Welcome to the second video in the PBE Spreadsheets series. In this video we're going to talk about how to study with the spreadsheets that you have. So I've got a different spreadsheet than the introduction. This one is made for studying. The other one was an actual quiz. So it's slightly different. I'll show you what's different. Only one thing. Otherwise it's pretty much the same as the other one. So we're going to open it up. This one's a fairly large spreadsheet, so it's going to take a little bit of time. A lot more questions than the Esther quiz spreadsheet that we saw in the introductory video. Okay, here we go. Like I said, it's pretty much the same, except for one thing, and that's this number up here in the very top left corner. Now that's going to be important for letting me know when you find an error, when you find something that just doesn't look right, and letting me know what I can fix. This is actually the number, the question number. I know that the tab down here says that this is question number 1, but in the internal database that I keep, this is actually question number 3624. So if you find a problem with this question, you can say, hey, question 3624 isn't right. It should be this. So on every question for your study spreadsheets, on every question tab, there will be a number here. This one's 2081, this one's 3508. So when you have any questions or problems with any question, reference that number up there, and I can find it and we can be on the same page a lot quicker. So this is a study spreadsheet. So what I recommend doing is going through all of the questions from start to finish. I would not recommend starting at question 1, working your way through it for a while. Maybe you get up to question 30 or 40 or 50 or 100, and then tomorrow come back and do some more studying and then start back at question 1 again. What I recommend is working your way through all of the questions from start to finish before you go back to the beginning. Get through all of them. For example, this spreadsheet has 2,300 questions, so it'll take a while to get through it. But the advantage of not going back and starting at question 1 every time is, well, if you do go back and start at question number 1, you're going to end up really good at the questions in the beginning of the spreadsheet, but not so good with the questions toward the end. You may see the ones in the beginning 10, 15 times, 20 times, but the ones toward the end of the spreadsheet only a couple times. So I would recommend working your way through the entire spreadsheet, no matter how big yours is, before going back and starting at question 1. So this is what works really well. What we're going to do is we're going to keep track of each question that we get wrong, so that when we do come back, we can focus in on that question. And to keep track of which questions we got wrong, there's a very easy way to do that, and we're going to use colors. So we come in, we're going to start studying. We go to question 1, and we try to answer it. What did the king name Daniel? Well, that's a pretty easy one. Even I remember this one. It's Belteshazzar. Now I can check it by going to the tab for answer number 1. Sure enough, yeah, it's Belteshazzar. So I got that question right. For questions that we get right, we're going to leave them completely uncolored. It's only when we get something wrong that we're going to do something different. So I got that one right, so I'm going to leave it without a color. And what we're going to do for a question that we get wrong, we're going to actually change the color of the tabs down here. And we'll see that in a second. We'll pretend that we get question number 2 wrong. Where shall many run? Be specific. I'm to the drugstore. Okay, that's my guess because I have no clue. Go to answer 2. No, to the drugstore was not right. I got that question wrong. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to question 2. I got this one wrong. I'm going to change the color on this tab. How do we do that? Well, on your mouse, press the right mouse button, and up will pop this little menu here. And right toward the middle, there's an option for tab color. I think this is the same in all versions of Excel. Hopefully it's the same in yours. So you should be able to change your color this way, your tab color this way. When I get something wrong, you can pick a color that you want. I think that red is a nice good color because red means stop. You know, I got this one wrong. It's a bright color. It really pops out and says, okay, I got it wrong. So I just selected red. Now when I move off, you can see that that tab now is red. It's red. I got it wrong. So let's continue on through question number 5. Question 3. Daniel was in the rain. Daniel what in the rain? See, now this is a question. We'll come back. We'll do the next video on correcting an error. This question to me seems like it's phrased a little strangely. It doesn't make clear sense. Daniel what in the reign of Darius and of Cyrus the Persian? I'm not exactly sure what the question is asking me. So I don't know. I don't know the answer because I'm not quite sure what the question is. So let's take a look. What is the answer? Prospered. Maybe it would be better to say Daniel did what in the reign of Darius and Cyrus the Persian. So in the next video, we're going to actually make this change. We're going to suggest that this question be rephrased to Daniel did what in the reign of Darius and Cyrus the Persian. But you know what? I got this one wrong. I didn't really understand the question. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to change this one to red too. I right-clicked, went to tab color, picked red, clicked on it. Now that one is flagged as red as well. So now, question 4. Daniel 4 through 5. What things has God's people done against him? What things has God's people done against him? 3 points, so that's a 3-point answer. I have no idea. Let's take a look. We have sinned and committed iniquity. We have done wickedly and rebelled. And we have departed from your precepts and judgments. Okay, I got it wrong. You know the drill. Go back to the question, right-click on it, tab color, set it to red. All right, moving on. Question 5. Your dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. True or false? I think that's true. I think I remember that. Yep, I got it right. So I leave this one uncolored. All right, so let's just say that we're going to stop for the day. I can see right now that I got 1 right, I got 3 wrong, I got 2 right out of 5. I got 2 right out of 5. So I'm going to stop at this point. Now I have a save button. Here's the key to getting this so that you can come back later. You've got to save, otherwise these colors are going to disappear. My save is right here. I've got a little save icon at the top left. I can click save, and after a second here, that the spreadsheet will be saved back to my desktop, or if in your case, if you put it in a folder somewhere, it gets saved back to that folder. If you don't have one of these save icons up here, probably under your file on the menu in the top under file, there is a save option. So you can do that one too. Save. All right, now in most versions of Excel, when you open your spreadsheet back up, you should be exactly where you were. So it should pop up with me sitting right here on tab 5. Just to be sure though, here's what I like to do. In case it doesn't for some reason, I like to leave a marker, like a little bookmark, that tells me where I'm at. And I do that by changing the color here. I'm going to change this color for the tab to blue. All right, because that kind of stands out. Now, if for some reason I'm back at tab 1, I can see, yeah, okay, I stopped right here. I stopped at A5. So I can just click on it and I'm right back where I started. So let's test this out. I'm going to save this. I'm going to exit the spreadsheet because I'm done studying for the day. Now I'm going to reload it, pretending that it's the next day and I'm coming back to study some more. So here we go. I'm reloading it. And hopefully we will be sitting back at tab 5 when it opens. Alright, and it opened, and we are still, yes, we're at tab 5. And I can continue on. I can go on through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can go all the way to the end. Before, like I mentioned before, go all the way to the end before I come back to question number 1. Now, one thing you want to do when you come back in is, this thing is blue right now, and if I leave it blue, and then later on I stop at maybe question 9, and I mark that one blue, well, then all of a sudden I've got 2 blue tabs here. Where did I stop? So one of the things you want to remember to do when you restart for the next day is clear that color. Take the blue away. And to do that, right click, go to tab, color, and select no color. Alright. Now, if it were to reload at question 1, for example, I'd see, okay, I stopped at question number 9. Let me clear that one because we're going to pretend that it's a new day and I'm starting up. So the first thing I do is I clear that tab, and we work through all of the questions all the way to the end. Now, once we've worked through all the questions all the way to the end, we can restart at the beginning. So I come back to question 1. Well, it doesn't have a color, so I know I got that one right. So I'm going to skip it. I got it right, and I'm going to focus just on the ones that I got wrong. Well, I can see I got question 2 wrong, so I'm going to jump right to question number 2. Where shall they run? Be specific. Okay, this time I remember it. It's to and fro. So let me double check my answer. Yes, to and fro. So now I got this one right. So I am going to change the color. I'm going to change it from red to yellow. You can pick a color that you want, but yellow makes sense to me. Now I can see, okay, I got question 2 wrong, but then right. If I get it right again this another time, I'm going to take the color away. So the idea is you need to, on anything that you get wrong, you need to get it right twice in a row. You'll change it from red to yellow, and then from yellow to clear, if I were to get it right again, a second time in a row. So in order to clear that question and say I can move on and focus on others, I need to get it right twice in a row. Once we'll change it from red to yellow, twice we'll change it from yellow to no color. So let's go on. Question number 3, Daniel, and again we're going to change the phrasing in that question in the next video. Daniel was what, or did what, in the reign of Darius and Cyrus the Persian? I think it was prospered. Yes, it was. So I can change this one to yellow. Moving on. Question number 4. What things has God's people done against him? 3. Oh, that's that big long one. I don't remember. So I get it wrong. It stays red. Okay, now I work my way through. I'm going to jump ahead though to one question because we haven't really seen a fill in the blank question. So I'm going to right click over there. I'm going to go right to question number 29 because I know it is a fill in the blank, just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here's what a fill in the blank looks like. This one is worth 7 points. But you, Daniel, blank up the blank and seal the blank until the time of the blank. Many shall blank to and blank. I almost said the answer. Many shall blank to and blank, and knowledge shall blank. Well, if you know what that is, you can fill it in. Here's the answer right there. Shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. So that's a fill in the blank. Now let's jump back to the beginning. And let's just pretend now that we've gone through and we come to this question now. We got it right once, so it changed to yellow. But let's say we're having a bad day and we forget the answer. Well, and we get it wrong. We forgot prospered. So what do? It's yellow, but we got it wrong. So guess what? We're going to change it back to red. It's now red because we got it wrong. Anything we ever get wrong, turn it to red. Now we've got to get this right twice in a row again in order to clear that color. So let's pretend now that we've gone through all of our questions, coming back. We got it. It's red. We're working on it. Prospered. I remember prospered. Change it to yellow. Let's just say we're moving along to question 4, and this time we got that big long answer right. We got all of that right, so we're going to change it to yellow. All right. We work our way through the end. We start at the beginning again. Okay, we've got 2 yellows maybe in the whole spreadsheet. These are the last 2 that we've got to do. Prospered. Yes, I got it. I can clear the color. I got it right twice in a row now. Now question 4, the big long one with the 3 answers. I get this right again, so I can clear this color. So now let's just say we got everything clear. There isn't a single tab on here that's got any color. We got everything right. What do we do now? Well, we start all over again. We start at question number 1 and answer every single one of them just like we did at the very beginning, because maybe we guessed on question 1 the very first time when we got it right, but we weren't, maybe it was just lucky. So really we want to go over that. Even though we did get it right, we want to go over everything again. We're going to go over them all the questions, answer them all, mark anything that we got wrong red, come back, review the reds. Maybe we can change some of them to yellow because we get them right. Maybe we go through it again. We can change some of the yellows to no color to clear them off. Maybe we get some of the yellows wrong and they got to go back to red, and we got to answer them right again twice in a row. So that's the way we're going to study the spreadsheet. That's what we found that works really well. It's effective because it forces you to focus on the questions that are problems, but it also, because everything is in sequence, you also get to see every question if you do in fact work your way all the way to the end and not start at question number 1 each day. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.